So, just what the hell is a mode? Well, now you know.
Hey there, Mr. Bill. Glad you made it back. Welcome to part 2 of finger exercises and modes, the Memphis Mike method. God, that sounds horrible, doesn't it? Alrighty. Now, in the last one, we based everything off of F. If I was teaching you how to play bass, I would do this off of F. But as I'm teaching you how to do this on guitar, it will make more sense to do it in the key of G, or anything up from F. We will go with G just because G chords are fun. The key of G sounds good, G minor sounds great. It's a fun one. But I'll explain it as I go along. Not everything is going to be strictly in G. And you'll find that out here in a minute. Okay? Modes. Modes are kind of like scales, but when most people think of a scale, they think do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You know, do, a deer, a female deer, you know, all that stuff. And a major scale is but that is also called, and I'm having to use cheat notes here because I never memorized these. That is also the Ionian mode, starting on G, working up to G. So, if you want to call it the major scale, great. If you want to call it the Ionian mode, call it that. But it's just G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. That F sharp and that B, that's what makes it a major scale. Alright? So, basic theory, if you want to make a chord triad, you're going to need a tonic, a third, and a fifth. Boom, major chord. If you want to make it a minor chord, you flat the third. So, major third, minor third. So, but for this, it's going to be major. And yes, guess what? That also works as a finger exercise. I will suggest this fingering. Alright? Start with your middle finger on this G, the tonic. Alright? Pinky, coming up to the A, that's the second. Forefinger to the major third, that's a B. Middle finger for your fourth, the C. Pinky for the fifth, which is D. Forefinger to the E, which is a 6. Ring finger up here to that major 7th. And I will go into major and dominant 7ths another time. And then pinky up here for the G. That's basic. I mean, if you were playing it on piano, it'd be the same thing. If you're playing it on bassoon, a major scale is a major scale, Ionian mode's an Ionian mode. Doesn't matter the instrument. What matters is the spacing between notes. So, that's why I'm going to base everything out of this G position here. But the keys of the modes are actually going to change depending on where I started. Okay? So, G major, G Ionian is going to be pick it however you want. Do it with one finger, do it with all your fingers, do it with a pick. However you want to do it, just get those notes right. And guess what? You can play it up here. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a major scale no matter where you play it, as long as the spacing between notes is correct. Okay? Give that a try. Okay, this one is the Dorian mode. Now we're going to be working around that major scale thing, but what we're going to do, instead of starting on the G and ending on the G, we're going to start on the A and end on the A. So we're going to go. Dorian mode. Now, that may feel a little weird when you first do it. Practice it. But listen to the spacing between the notes. Learn to recognize those sounds. And this is with all the modes, any scale that you're playing, whatever. Learn to hear that spacing. You'll be listening to a song and you go, oh, that's a Dorian mode. Boom. And you can pat yourself on the back and annoy the missus with all that information. Okay? But one more time. Give it a try. Okay? This is the Phrygian mode. This has always been a personal favorite of mine. There are a few more exotic modes that are similar, but they tend to be more pentatonic modes. This, as you see, is all 8 notes. So this is a full mode, or a church mode, as they're sometimes called. This is the Phrygian. Phrygian is a personal favorite. All right, doesn't mean it has to be yours, but it is mine. But what we're going to do, we're going to stay in this G position, and we're going to start up here on the 3rd, that B. So we're going to go B to B, using the same type of spaces between notes that we would in that G major, but we're just going to start we're just going to change our start point and our end point. That's all these modes are doing. All right, so if you do it like this, sounds like something out of, I don't know, a spy movie or an Arab movie or something like that. And especially if we do it like up here, like. Cool stuff. Like I said, learn these different things. You will recognize them when you hear other types of music. A lot of times, if someone wants to sound really exotic, they will go with the Phrygian mode. There's actually a Japanese mode that is similar, and there is a Gypsy mode that is similar. I once had to write a segment of music. This was for a music test in school, and I had to use the Japanese pentatonic mode, and I had to do it in C. And they said, "All right, write something, but it can't sound Japanese." Okay, not knowing what the Japanese listened to at the time. All right, sure. So I'm like, what can I do? So I came up with this. That should give you some idea of how useful knowing how to use these things is. That, at least to me, does not sound Japanese at all. All right, it sounded more like King Crimson or Rush. But yeah, so try that Phrygian mode, all right? It's a fun one. Trust me. Trust me, it's a fun one. Give it a try. This one here is the Lydian mode. Again, we're in this G position here, but we're going to start on the 4, that being the C. And we're going to go up to C. I must have screwed it up. That almost sounds like a major, doesn't it? But it's not. A major would be. But the Lydian is going to go. This is the difference. Major scale, Lydian mode. Alright? Try that one. And basically, if you're ever playing something and you make a mistake on a run like that, just say, oh, I accidentally played the Lydian mode. People will think, wow, he really knows wow, he knows his stuff. And it's a great way to save your ass, all right? So again, try that. If you thought the Lydian was fun, let's try the Mixolydian. Ha ha ha! You may have guessed we're going in a certain pattern here. We started on the 1, then the 2, then the 3, then the 4. So you guessed it, we're starting up here on D on the 5. We're going to start with the pinky. We're going to go from this D up to this D. How's that sound? Again, like the Lydian, it has a very major quality to it. So if you're ever just jamming around, you can do that one, and it sounds like you have some idea of what you're doing. Which I have just a secret. Any guitar player that tells you they know what they're doing at all times is probably bullshitting you. Alright? Because unless they have learned a piece note for note, which really is every bit as boring as it sounds, unless they're doing that, they're going to improvise. Modes are a good thing to improvise off of. You don't want to do it all the time, but it's a good place to start. Okay? So one more time, Mixolydian. And give it a try. Alright, this is the minor scale, or the Aeolian. Not Aeolian, Aeolian. And as you guessed it, we're going to start up here on the 6th, that being the E. And we're going to come up here to this E. Yeah, try that again. So just take a minor chord. Pretty stuff with that minor scale or Aeolian mode, whatever you want to call it. Got it? Alrighty. Give it a try. See what you can come up with. I'm really looking forward to hearing the different things that you come up with once you start messing with these. Like I said, give it a couple days and mess with those and you go, ooh, I can do this, ooh, I can do this, ooh, I can do this. I look forward to hearing it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I know I will. Your missus will probably hate me after a while for this, but in the long run, she's going to go, oh, that sounds so pretty, Bill. Oh, that sounds so pretty. All right? Have at it. Okay, last but not least, the Locrian mode. You may have guessed, we're going to start up here on this F sharp. We're going to call it an F sharp because we are progressing upwards. We are ascending. Had we been starting in a descending mode, we would call it a G flat. They are the same thing. F sharp, G flat are the same. We'll call that a bonus. I just taught you how to play My Sharona. Okay? So, we're going to start up here on this F sharp. Ah. Got that? That's a tricky one. Somewhat similar to the Phrygian mode. Now, you're thinking, that's great. You've shown me how to play everything in one place. What do I do with it? Well, first thing you do, you learn how to play it. And then you figure out, okay, say you want to do the Phrygian mode. You know how to play it in B there, right? But how are you going to do it in G? All you have to do is move it. Keep the correct number of spaces between notes. That's where this G string and B string will confuse a lot of guitar players because the rest of these are fourths, this is a third. So you have to monkey with it a little bit. So get to know them first and then figure out how to move them around. And again, that's one of those things we can sit down sometime and I can go, okay, and we'll go through it. If you want to go key by key, we can do that. But give yourself credit. I think that you're going to figure out how to do this. And no one is ever going to say, hey, that song was great. Can you play me a Mixolydian mode in F? They're not going to do that. So the trick is understand what the modes are, what they sound like, and then think how you can use them. And if nothing else, they make great finger exercises on top of everything else. Okay? So, that's the wonderful world of modes. Trust me, if you start playing more lead stuff or more melody stuff, you will start to notice these things coming in more. You'll notice major scales, minor scales, harmonic minors, melodic minors. The bebop players use their own personal favorites. Everybody uses their own thing. Most rock and blues guys, they play a pentatonic scale. You know, that's an easy one. You probably know that by now. If you don't, I'll just show it to you. The pentatonic in G, that's a great one for bass players, or you can do the full pentatonic. You can do a lot with the pentatonic. And if you're a bass player, boom. So that's the Memphis Mike method of modes, and threw in a pentatonic just for shits and or giggles. Play well, my friend, play often. Let your true self come through here. Okay? Little personal secret. Whenever I do a show, or even if I'm doing a recording session, I actually pray. And no, I'm not going to shove religion stuff down your throat. But what I do is I always pray, God, speak through my hands. So maybe that's why my crappy playing doesn't sound too bad to some folks. Maybe that they're getting something out of it. I don't know. But it's just a prayer that I say. Okay? So, enjoy. Remember, work on your finger exercises. Like I said, it's going to build all this up in through here. All right? It's going to increase your dexterity. It's going to increase your ear training. When in doubt, say the name of the note as you're playing it. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp. If that works for you, do that. All right? If you don't know them, I can diagram out every note on every string all the way up and down. All right? That's easily done. Or I've actually seen some really neat posters in some music stores and some bookstores that show the guitar neck and every single note on it. You know, and they look a lot better than anything I can draw up for you. All right? So, like I said, happy playing, be joyful, all right? Share the joy with others through the music that you play. Okay? And in the meantime, get them fingers going. And me, I'm going back to trying to play some T-Bone Walker. See? It's already helped.